Welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Ultra Elite Classic. We're going to have the Shadow Dragonite paired with the Empoleon and Sandslash. They switch out into the Shadow Snorlax. We're going to play this out and we're going to shield this Body Slam here just to keep this Dragonite healthy. We're going to be able to get to this Dragon Claw bait. So let's try to get a shield. We do get the shield from this Snorlax. We're going to go for the back-to-back here to force them to either shield or KO. And they decide to shield. So they're deciding to try to win this switch. We're going to just match their shield. And then we're just going to go for this Dragon Claw to take out this Snorlax. Because we know that we have at least Sandslash for that Venusaur. So let's try to get to another move here. This Shadow Venusaur does get CAP tied. This Dragon Claw here does pretty good neutral damage, taking it all the way down into the low red. And now we're going to go into our Sandslash. They switch out into their Swampert. Shadow Swampert in the back here. Kind of a problem if we can avoid the Earthquake. So we're going to farm up a little bit and switch out. We try to catch a move. They were aware of that. But now we're forcing them to use Earthquake. Do they have Earthquake? They do go for the Earthquake. And now we're going to have to go for... Oh, looks like we CAP tied here. Ends up being the Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon will not KO, and we are able to take out this Swampert with the Ice Punch. And now we just have to get this Venusaur down. And yes, the Shadow Venusaur ended up hurting them, able to farm down with the fast moves of the Sandslash. So GG's to our opponent, able to wiggle out of that Shadow Swampert situation. If they got into a back-to-back Earthquake, they definitely would have won the game. Alright, Mirror Dragonites here, always kind of tricky. We're going to go and try to catch a move. Unfortunately, they were aware of that, and they switch out into the hard counter, the Lantern. So Ultra Elite Lantern here, pretty beast against our team in general. We do have the Sandslash for that, but unfortunately we did not match it up with it. So this is just going to be a bunch of chip damage at this point. They are gonna, it looks like they're gonna be able to farm us down, which is not great news for us. And they do go for the full farm down. We know they have a ton of energy. We know we have energy on our Dragonite. We can at least get a shield. So we're gonna go straight into the Dragonite, go for this Dragon Claw. This is gonna get a shield because no way they're gonna run all that energy out, right? Yeah, makes sense. So they do invest a shield, and we're just gonna let it go because we know that they have two. And we're gonna switch out into our Sandslash. Do we win the game with two shield Sandslash here? They have the Shadow for Alligator running the Crunch. We do avoid the debuff, so a little bit of a chance here. We go for this drill run here. They do end up shielding, and now we're going to have to get to at least two moves. Another Hydro Cannon is coming through right here. Oh, actually, it's Crunch. I guess they don't have Hydro Cannon. They're running Crunch and Ice Beam. Oh, nice. They did have a move on that Lantern, and Thunderbolt is definitely going to get us so low that it is GG. So, nice play by my opponent, being pretty patient. Ended up having the Lantern Core Breaker right there in the back. So, we're going to switch out the Empoleon. The Empoleon has a little bit too many weaknesses right now with the meta. So, we're just going to use a Magnezone. So, we're going to switch out right into the Magnezone. They switch out into their Goodra, so not necessarily a good counter, but we are going to be able to resist the fast moves from this Goodra, and we're going to be able to get to these Mirror Shots. Mirror Shots potentially going to debuff. Let's see if we get any debuff action here. Going for another Mirror Shot. This Mirror Shot doesn't do a lot of damage, but it chips away already into the yellow. Meanwhile, our Magnezone here is still in the green. Going to go for another Mirror Shot here. Finally gets a shield from our opponent. And now we have a decision to make. Do we shield here to try to get to multiple Mirror Shots? We decided to let it go. And then we're going to get a CAP tied here. So we're just going to let this one go because potentially we could just farm down with the Dragonite at this point. And that's exactly what we do. So we get met with a Empoleon here. So in this Empoleon here, it has to fear our potential superpower. We're going to bait. We do get that shield. And our opponent here does end up throwing the move. We are going to shield here because we potentially could get to this superpower before they... Okay, they actually switch out, and now we just have to use our Sandslash to obliterate this Dragonite. Shadow Dragonite, boom, goes away, and now we're going to apply that full pressure. They have to go and take out this Sandslash immediately. One Hydro Cannon and Ultra Elite doesn't quite KO, and we are able to get to a drill run here. This is definitely going to take out this Empoleon. So GG's to our opponent. They were running a similar team. the Dragonite with the Empoleon core. And then they actually had the Goodra, so they had an ABA Dragon team. So Magnezone actually coming in clutch there, doing his job, and almost single-handedly winning the whole game. All right, next we have the Sylveon. This is a horrible lead, but we do have 2 Steel types in the back, so we're going to switch out immediately. We get met with the hard counter of Swampert. We're going to have no play. We're just going to have to do chip damage at this point. We do let the first Hydro Cannon go through. We're unfortunately not going to be able to get to 2 Wild Charges, so we're just going to throw this Wild Charge here. Pretty decent damage for a resistant move, already into the yellow. And then we're going to come back in with the Dragonite. This Dragonite has to survive these Hydro Cannons. There's no chance we're winning this if we don't survive it. So first Hydro Cannon goes through, doesn't quite do 25%. And now we're going to have to tank another one. Okay, easy. And then we're looking for the farm down. We do get the farm down, so that's as good as it's going to get. Switch out into the Sandslash when they have the Sylveon. And they have the Umbreon in the back. Fortunately, Umbreon is going to be able to beat this Shadow Claw Sandslash. So at this point, we're just trying to somehow use enough time so that we can eventually switch out, possibly. But even if we do, we have to face that Sylveon, which is going to absolutely just destroy our Dragonite. So unless they time out here, I don't see a win condition. They do still have 2 shields. This Umbreon is very, very bulky and Ultra League, as you can see here. Finally, they shield. We do get an Ice Punch off that they do shield. So we're going to try our best to get this last shield right here. Maybe we can combo play this. So that shield goes down, and unfortunately, they are able to get to another move. This is going to KO, but we had no chance. This is all a formality at this point. This is just going to be counter or fast boom down. All right, let's see if we can end up on a good note here. This team ended up being switched out from the Empoleon for just a little bit more counters to these like water types floating around and dragon types. So we're going to be using a Dragonite versus that Feraligatr, but they do switch out into the Goodra. Very interesting switch right there. They do end up switching to the Goodra, and we do get a shield from our opponent. We're going to switch out into the Sandslash. We're going to apply full pressure. We know we can take the first one, and then we're going to go for this Ice Punch. This Ice Punch gets this Goodra into the yellow. Trying to get to another Ice Punch. They are able to get this Aqua Tail. But we're going to over farm here, get to 2 Ice Punches before we throw it. So this is going to apply the full pressure. If they shield, we have another one ready for it. They decided to let it go, which is awesome for us. We are able to maintain alignment. What is that, Annihilate? This Annihilate here tanks the Drill Run, which is pretty decent neutral damage. And now, easy decision, go into our Dragonite here. This Dragonite is going to potentially have to tank this move. It is a Night Slash, I believe. Yep. So we do survive the Night Slash, and we are able to get to this Dragon Claw. This Dragon Claw either gets a shield or KOs, and we do get that to work in our favor. And now we just have the Magnezone versus this Shadow Feraligatr. Feraligatr has a ton of energy, goes for the Hydro Cannon. One Hydro Cannon does not KO in Ultra League, and all we have to do is shield here and try to farm down. If we don't farm down, I believe the Dragon Claw from the Dragonite will be able to take it out. So GG's to our opponent. And check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.